Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon and good evening to wherever you are in the world. This is my first foray into making YouTube videos. So today we'll be traveling along the Norfolk Southern N Line. So I do hope you will enjoy the work which I am doing, and let's see. So let's get going. So today our motive power will be an EMD GP38-2 high hood locomotive, and right now we are at Salisbury. So just let us go to our location over here. Alright, so my run, I have to go to Gold Hill Quarry, and currently I am at Salisbury. So my first task is to couple the current locomotive to these two locomotives. So where are they right now? Let's see. Oh, they are all the way over here. Fine. So that means I have to come out over here. Okay, I have to come out till here and then go back. Fine. So let's start. It is taking some time to pick up the speed. Let's hasten it a bit. So as you can see, I have to go to Salisbury shop shed track. The speed limit is 15 miles per hour. So let me just throttle back on the throttle over here. The train brakes were on. I'm applying full locomotive brakes so that I can stop. Let me see. Okay, switching, and I will go. Yep, I'll be able to join this two locomotives over here. Changing direction. A bit of throttle. Reducing the loco brakes, and off we go. Take some time because the brakes have to disengage completely. Right, on our way. Just give it a bit more throttle to hasten things up as usual. I will try to remain in control of my speed, as this is scenario, so there will be no negative marking or penalty points, but I will try to be a good boy. Right, just let me see once again the map. So I am over here. Alright. Oh, so I'm going inside. I might have to go nearby. Right. Just a bit more throttle. Oh well, I guess I'm going to crash into the building. Yeah, getting inside the building. Right, so now I can see the two locos whom I have to join. Always remember that the coupling, when you are doing, the speed should not be more than 5 miles per hour, or there are chances of derailing. it's saying go via Salisbury shops lead south to reach consist on west end of Salisbury yard 4. So all you can do is go to the map, check go via Salisbury shops lead south. See the task. So you have to go via this to get into the main yard and couple to consist on track 4, which is over here. Fine. First let us get out of this building. Please make sure not to give too much throttle in the beginning, otherwise you will have wheel slip. And let me just decrease the speed. I will just be panning back out because this is the view I like to see on my trains, following the train from a distance. But do let me know if you want some other views. I can try to incorporate them. So I like this view because I can see what's all around me also. Just the speed was getting a bit high over there. So usually you can go up about a one mile faster than the posted speed limit and not get any penalty points. Right, so let's center the player. Okay, go back. So I try to maintain my speed within 1 mile per hour of the speed limit, so as not to waste too much time and get to my place where I want to be faster. Crossing is coming up. So rules say 2 long blasts followed by a short blast, and then when you are just about to cross the crossing, another long blast. You can see the yard on the left. We have to hook up to a consist on Salisbury yard 4. Just giving it a bit more juice. Speed went a bit down. So we have to go via the Salisbury shops lead south, which is approximately 0.4 miles from where I am currently. I just wished the speed limit was a bit higher, because most American rail yards have speed limits of around 15 miles per hour. does it say go via Salisbury shops, lead south, and then couple? Okay. So just let me see. Yard 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is our consist sitting over here. So there's already a locomotive as a banker behind. Seems quite a bit of loco power for a consist which is maybe 15 boxes, but it is filled with coal, so maybe it is required. Anyway, yeah, I think a train is coming on our left, as you can hear the shrill sound of the locomotive. Yeah, there is the other train. So this is our track. So we will try to stop just beyond this point and then reverse back. Oops, I went a bit higher. I was not looking at my speed. Yeah, that's better. So let me just turn around. Sorry for the bit of lag over there. My PC is not very high end, as you might have guessed by now. Yep. That's enough. So I put the full loco brake. Might have to put some train brake as well. It's taking a bit too much time to slow down. Putting it into reverse. Waiting for it to slow down. In the meantime, I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And I've come to a stop. And now let's go back. I have to be careful when I'm hooking up to the consist. I don't want to derail the train. Takes a bit of time. Yep, brakes are released. Something happened. My train is not moving. Okay. Wow, took quite some time. I was wondering if I tripped the emergency brake by mistake. speeding ticket. Right. So let me keep the loco brake on. So we are on Salisbury Yard, track 4, about to join our consist. So I have to be careful here not to derail the train. So the speed is right now around 13.5 miles per hour. I'll start applying the brakes. I've applied 100% brakes. Trying to get it down to 5 miles per hour. Yeah, releasing the brakes. It's just applying brakes a little bit more, and we have a hookup. Right. So now we are ready to depart to Gold Hill. So let's set it up. Engaging the forward, releasing the brakes. Yeah. Giving a little bit of power. Go via crescent. Okay, so I don't have to stop at the end. I just have to go via a waypoint. Alright, so we are on our way. Let me just increase the throttle. I'll just wait till my speedometer shows around 5 miles per hour, and then I will increase the throttle to notch 3, around 40% power, so that I don't get any wheel slip. Yeah. So we have to be careful, the speed limit is still 15 miles per hour. So this is the Norfolk Southern N Line. So we will be diverting off the main track in around 3 to 4 miles. And the N Line, at least in this game, doesn't have any signals. So once we get onto the diverting line, there will be no signals. But the entire line is a bit of zigzag, in the sense a saw pattern, that there is continuously elevation and dip. So we have to be watchful of our speeds. Let me just ease back on the throttle. So do let me know if you want some other views. I like this view, so for my first video I will stick with this view. So if you want, I can go into the cab. So you see the hood is very long. It's quite difficult to see. So I prefer this view. not very visible. You can see there's a green signal up ahead. This is our signal. Just giving it a bit of throttle. Let it come out. I don't understand the concept of a bell when you have to cross a railroad crossing or when you're coming into a yard. Because anyway the locomotive will be loud, so I try to find out why are bells required. If any one of you know the answer, do comment. Yeah, so the next signal is yellow over red over red. So we have to be careful. This might mean that the next signal up ahead might be a stop signal. Anyway, we are only at 15 miles per hour, so any adverse signal we will be able to stop quite early. So though this section upcoming is around, the speed limit is around 50 miles per hour, as I have told you, we will be diverting off, and the speed for that section is only 25 miles per hour. So I do hope we don't get trigger happy. Anyway, another speed limit is coming up, around 15 miles per hour, half a mile down. Once we are in this 50 miles per hour zone, I will increase my speed to around 25 miles per hour, and once I hit 25, I will reduce back to 15 so as to not break the speed limit. The next signal coming up is yellow over green, so that means diverging clear. So we are going to go on to the next track. Once we have crossed over onto the next track, we can then go at the speed limit, which is I think around 50 miles per hour. If we were to continue on this track, if it was just a yellow, that means we would have to be cautious that the next signal might be a stop signal. So I am still maintaining around 15 miles per hour, as anyway the speed limit is coming up. There are quite some industries around. So the Salisbury passenger services station is coming on the right hand side. As you can see, we are crossing over to the left hand side track. So we have around 8.5 miles to go while we pass through Crescent. We are just about to get out and we will be hitting the 50 mile per hour track limit. I'm increasing the throttle. So actually the in-cab sound is too muted. Can't hear anything. I feel this is better. Let me increase the throttle some more. So you can see a 25 mile per hour speed limit coming up. So that is right before we hit the diverging track and go on to the N line. I think you can see the diverging track in the distance onto the left hand side. I will not go till 25 miles per hour, at least in the starting, because as soon as you hit the diverging track, the track slopes away. You have to be ready with dynamic braking, otherwise you will cross the speed limit. Ease back the throttle. So be careful, the dynamic brakes take some time to engage. have the dynamics ready, and they usually kick in around 10 seconds time. So be sure to engage them at least before you see a gradient coming. As you can see right now, the gradient is at a 0%, but soon as we cross the Salisbury N Line, you will see what I mean. So my speed is around 21.5 miles per hour, no problem. So you can see the gradient is now 0.4, 0.3, and now we are diverging onto the end line. It's okay. So it has become 0.8. So you can see the speed increasing, and the gradient has steepened to 1.2%, and with the train loaded, the speed can pick up quite fast. So I have just started the dynamic braking at 13%, but as you can see, the amps are still showing 0 and my speed is going up. So now the dynamics have kicked in. But the speed is going above. As you can see, that was very close. Now I applied loco brake also. Reducing the loco brake. Forgive me if I don't honk when I'm crossing over here, but there is just too much things happening. So now the gradient has leveled out. I will decrease the dynamic braking. So please be careful. Though the gradient is showing 0%, the back of your train might still be descending, so it might increase the speed. It's okay. I have turned off the dynamics. So this uphill gradient and downhill gradient will continue all along the line. So we have to be a bit careful and keep watching the gradient. So as you can see, now it has suddenly become an uphill gradient of 1.1%. Increasing the throttle to 25%. The speed is dropping off quite fast. throttle is at 62%, but still you can see the speed is not picking up. So now it has started picking up. Level crossing coming up. Just turn on the dynamics. There is a gradient, downhill gradient. Just applying the loco brakes. I think I am going to overshoot. Yeah. You see, it's very difficult. I'll have to apply train brakes over here because I'm going too high above the speed limit. Now I've got the train in a bit of control. There is still a downhill gradient, but I have kept my dynamics on because I don't want to go over the speed limit once again. So if it was a carrier mode, I would have got a horde of penalty points, but as it is a scenario, I am saved. Ground has leveled out, so I will just reduce the dynamic to the lowest setting. So we are around 5 miles from Crescent. So as you can see now, again the gradient is increasing. At least there is no signals to look out for on this line. The speeds have gone down quite a bit. Though the route is very small, it is quite challenging to keep up with the speed limits and the gradient, but it is enjoyable, giving it a bit more feel. Notice the speed going so low. Let's go into the cab. The level crossing coming up. We are the Norfolk 5244 to Gold Hill Quarry. As you can see, our gradient is increasing. So let me give some more juice. This is Granite Quarry siding, around 4 miles from Crescent. riding along at 24 miles per hour. The acceleration, as I didn't notice it creeping upwards. Just engaging the dynamics beforehand, as I can see a downhill gradient coming up. I don't want the train to run out of control, so the dynamics are already engaged. Running at a proper 25 miles per hour. Dynamics are at 50% almost. So now you can see that I have been able to control the speed of the train. I will decrease the dynamics a bit. Seems a bit much more. Yeah. So it's a very fine balance which you have to get to ensure that the train is not slowing down too much or the train is not going out of control. Around 2.5 miles from Crescent. Speed is slowly creeping back up. Let me just increase the dynamic. So it's very easy to control with the dynamics, because if you use the train brakes, that is the air brakes, you'll have to keep on going on the train brake, off the train brake. Quite literally a hassle. Wonder whose house is that. Quite a good spot next to a small lake. It's quite scenic around here. So let me decrease the dynamics just a tad. Please bear with me for the lags. My computer is not very much advanced. It's passable. The speed is going up. Just cutting back on the dynamics over here. Turning it completely off. Giving it 12% power, as I can see an upward gradient coming up. So crescent is coming up, our next waypoint. The visibility is so limited in this loco if you are inside the loco. Looks like a small horseshoe curve. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a loco driver. I think many of you will agree with me on that. But it is a tough job. When I was young, I used to think not much to do. Just tracks are there. You just have to go forward and back. Then you realize so the dispatch is saying 5044 is running behind in Rockwell, so they will need to hold us before the downgrade. So we don't need to stop, we just need to go via, that's the instruction. So in another half a mile, the scenario is going to come to an end. So please do tell me what you liked in this video, what you did not. Maybe I need to change the view, though I prefer this view. I hope you do like this video. If you like this video, please leave a like. I would be very happy to hear your comments. And your suggestions on how to improve further. So this scenario is coming to an end. So that's it, the scenario is done. Oh, there has been 4 times speeding. We traveled around 30 miles. Really? I don't think so. Anyway, this is the end of this scenario. NS 5244 to Gold Hill Quarry Part 1 on the Northern Southern N Line. I hope you did like it. If you liked it, please leave a like. Subscribe if possible. Thank you. See you soon. And keep rolling.